Hey everybody, this is Ardwulf, and welcome to another episode of Ardwulf Presents. This time we are coming to you from the Guild Wars 2 Beta Weekend Experience 3. This is the last beta weekend that ArenaNet is having for Guild Wars 2 before the launch on August 28th, which is a little over a month from now. This weekend is the first time that of the 5 races, the Sylvari and the Asura are available. So I'm going to show you in this video Asura male character creation, and we will check that out, and I may show you a very little bit of the starting zone as well, which I have played a little bit of both of these races, but not by any means through their starting content. So let's check out character creation first. And we'll pick the male. And again, I'll show you all these outfits. These are like the high-level outfits that you can eventually aspire to. Here we have the Elementalist. They're all kind of similar. This one's not really all that similar to any of the other races, to be honest about it. But mostly, they're like warrior outfits are pretty similar between the different races. But I see that these definitely do look different. I haven't seen some of these yet. You can definitely see, though, that the Guardian is definitely inspired by the same art as the rest of them. I gotta tell you, I don't think this... I actually, after having seen them in the first Guild Wars relatively recently, I actually like the Asura. I don't really like the way, for example, this engineer looks. Was that the Guardian? That's the Guardian. I think that looks stupid. But anyway, we've seen the Ranger. This is the Necromancer, which is a reasonably cool looking outfit. Make sure we've seen the Ranger. And these are kind of a sort of techno-wizardry type race. Actually kind of like that. And this is the Mesmer. That is the most minimalist high-level outfit I have seen so far, other than maybe the floating ring down here. So we've already, if you may have checked out the other Sylvari female character creation video, we've already done a Mesmer. So we'll go this time with the Thief. I have not actually made a Thief in Guild Wars 2 yet. Maybe a class I will play with eventually, but I have not done so yet. Okay, so back to body features. Once again, as usual, we can hide the armor. I believe new to this round of beta is the ability to toggle the lighting on and off. If that was there before, I don't remember it. Doesn't mean it wasn't there, it just means I didn't see it. You can play with the height. If you don't want to play a short character, don't play an Asura, so don't worry about that. You can also monkey with their physique. It is not possible to make a burly Asura. This is about as burly as they get right here. So this guy's a thief, so he doesn't need to be burly anyway. And you can vary the skin markings too, which is actually sort of a neat thing. I think some of these actually look kind of cool. Some of them are like patterns, and like this one looks more like it's part of the skin, whereas this one down here looks like it's painted on. It isn't necessarily, but... I'll go with that sort of model-y one, I think. That was this one. It's a good necromancer look, I think, actually. It makes him look like he's got some kind of psoriasis or something. I don't know what they were thinking when they put the giant Asura afro in, but whatever. These guys, in my opinion, look good bald. This one's actually not too bad. Remember, you can change the color of this head wrap thing, too. Dreadlocks, not a fan. That's not so bad. But a lot of these are not... I mean, they're Asura. So, again, if you want an exceptionally masculine race, perhaps you should stay away from the Asura. But some of these, like this, you'd never know this wasn't a female thing. And that's probably reflects a little bit of a weakness in art design, I think. Now you can change the faces. They go from sort of cute and ET-ish to, I wish to eat your blood. And this guy, he's kind of mean-looking. And he is a happy-go-lucky Asura right there. We'll go with this guy who looks like he's just in a bad mood. And this was cool, I found the first time I went through this, was you can actually play with the ears. And there's actually quite a bit of variety in the different ears. Some of them are they kind of sweep back a little more. That's the one we started with, I believe. This one looks like it's kind of deteriorated, maybe torn away or burnt at the bottom. I thought that one was kind of cool for the Asura Necromancer that I played a little bit. But we'll just go with... we'll go with that. That's fine. And of course you can monkey with these face details. You can change the eye color, for example. And you have quite a few different colors to select from here. Give them nice yellow eyes. If I had yellow eyes, I'd be pissed off too. You can, going back a second here, you can affect the skin color somehow. Let's see, down here. So you don't really have skin color to play with, but you do have, you can affect the color of the markings. You can make these a little more subtle if you want, or that's about right there. That's going to be about as obvious as they can get. I'm never about subtlety personally, so we're going to go back to face details. And again, I'm not going to go through all these, but this is a setting that's not available for every race. Is the lower eyelid setting. So if you combine that with the eye angle and the eye size, you can give them a kind of a cool looking squint, or you could give them giant bulging eyes if you really want. And I thought that was kind of cool. You can play with the mouth, and kind of emphasize or de-emphasize the cheeks, mouth width. They don't really have jaws per se. I would definitely say they don't have a jaw. But there's a jaw slider that you can piss around with if you would like. And you can play with the ears as well. So ear length is actually pretty variable, but we're already set to the maximum in every case here, except, ooh, that's kind of neat that you can fool with that. You can play with their head size. Weird. I think that's weird. I think you're a little better off going with a small head on these guys since they were small, and if you go with a big head, then their heads will look enormous. Maybe that's the effect you're looking for, though. Again, we come to armor dies here. And you can play with this, and again, as I mentioned before in a previous video, you could, in character creation, I'm guessing you could spend 45 minutes just fooling around with this. I am actually not going... Ooh, that's loud. Let's play a little bit. Let's give him a little bit more, maybe gray. It's the same gray. It's just a different gray. We'll play with this a little bit. So you can get some pretty subtle effects going with highlighting and stuff like this in this particular color, for example. And once you're in the game, if you don't know this, once you're in the game, you can go in and customize your gear color too, pretty much freely. It's right in the character creation screen. Nah, don't want that. Alright, so without fool, I will show you this one, just how flexible this is. So you can customize that color, or that color, or that color. I mean, you can affect pretty much every color on this getup. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, you can spend like 45 minutes fooling around with this, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to move on to the rest of character creation, and I'm going to show you the different choices that are available to the Asura Thief, and then maybe a very little bit of the starter area. In my line of work, it's important to understand the power of anonymity, determination, or subterfuge. Subterfuge is the obvious choice for a thief here. Trouble may follow me, but I use my blah blah blah, charm, dignity, or ferocity. These are the same three options that are available for every character. We will go with charm, since he's a thief, he might want to talk his way out of something. I'm a member of the College of Statics, Dynamics, Synergetics, Dynamics. I'm picking these totally at random. Produces Gizmo Makers Extraordinaire. Study how energy patterns form and alchemagical fractals propagate. And these guys build to last. Okay, so we're going to go with Dynamics. These choices do affect your personal story. Sometimes relatively dramatically, although I don't have a feeling for how that's done here with the Asura. But with the humans, certainly it makes a big difference if you select a human noble versus a human peasant, for example. You kind of get a completely different personal story. So my first invention was the VALA Golem, a trans-atmospheric converter. And an infinity ball. I don't know what that is. Predicts the future. Okay. My first advisor, the one who taught me almost everything, was Bronk, Zynga, Blip, or Canny. And you don't know anything about any of these guys right now, so it doesn't really make any difference what you pick as far as I'm concerned. Again, this will, I'm sure, affect the personal story in some way, but... and we'll pick pretty much a random name, because I don't feel like thinking about what we're going to name this guy. And here comes the Asura opening intro cinematic.
I am Asura. I personify genius. My ancestors were driven from the heart of the earth, forced to live in this bright, wide world. Of course, we've excelled. We exceed expectations in everything we do. With Golem and Gate and Arcane Crystal, we have asserted our supremacy in this land and made it our own. We will not move another inch. Not for dragons, not for anyone. The eternal alchemy is a fluid contrivance, ever evolving, ever fluctuating. I believe in the power of transformation. I belong to the College of Dynamics. Dynamics crews thrive on permutation. We're always advancing, morphing into something new. I'm the lever, and my excellent crew is the fulcrum. Together, we will move the world. We will force reason from chaos. I've just been informed that defective golems, not mine, of course, are causing havoc out in the jungle. Whatever the imbeciles outside the city have broken, I'll fix, and make my name doing so. I'll lead the masses through metamorphosis to an improved future. This is my story.
So as you can see, the Asura is a conceited little cock, and for that reason alone, I might end up playing this guy. As I mentioned in a previous video, there was some perhaps justified concern that the Asura and Sylvari stuff was going to be kind of unpolished because we didn't see it up until this beta weekend. And I haven't, like I said before, I haven't played through all that much of these things, but that does not appear to be an issue. I actually like both of the Asura and Sylvari content, this initial area, and then even into like the regular world. So, by all means, if you're on the fence about race selection, or maybe even if you're not, by all means, check these out. I am probably going to end up playing a Sylvari, in fact, at launch, and that's not something that I had planned or predicted. So I'm not going to... This is the initial sort of instancy starter area here. We can pull up the map. And actually, let's actually go back over here where we're not going to get jumped, and I'm going to mention one more thing. Let's pull up the map, and as you may remember from previous beta weekends, this, of course, is the entire area of this like initial starter area. You leave this area around level 2, just shy of level. I think it's just about level 2, actually. You have these tasks, which are the hearts. You have the waypoints, and you can unlock all these by exploration or completing the tasks or what have you out in the world. Points of interest, which are just like, hey, this is neat, I want to go see this, and you've explored it now. And the skill points that you can unlock. They've added something new, this Vistas, and I haven't actually unlocked any of these yet since this beta weekend started. But that's something new, and I'm going to guess and say that that will grant you XP. So that's another little boost to those who felt like there wasn't quite enough XP in the starter zones. I think we'll find that that may have been remedied now. We'll see, at least up to some extent. So I'm going to leave you here. I don't want to spoil any of the actual Asura content. And to be honest, I don't want to spoil the Thief for myself. This is a class that I will probably fool around with at some point once we start playing. So, with that said, down in the notes below you can find a link to my website at ardwulfslair.wordpress.com, so check that out. We have many articles, in fact over 1,000 articles now, on mostly on MMORPGs. So check that out. There is a fair amount of Guild Wars 2 discussion there as well as many other MMOs. By all means, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of videos already. There will be more Guild Wars 2 videos coming after this weekend. We'll get some of these posted up by the end of the weekend or by Monday, I would say. And that will probably wrap it up for Guild Wars 2 videos from me until the game launches. But once it launches, we'll see some more stuff. We also have videos on many other games, and we have a show about EverQuest 2, which has turned out to be getting posted somewhat less regularly than I had hoped, but that's okay. There's still several episodes with some good information there. So check all those things out. Also in the notes below you'll find my links on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. You can add me to your social networking hubbub. Check those out. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you'll check out some of the others.